Would this be under entertainment, people and blogs, or education? People and blogs. Public. What's this do? And nope. Alright. Hello everybody, my name is Music Dragon 42 and welcome to a new type of video. Now normally I would be playing a video game, but you know, all the video games that I want to play are just pure bullshit. Mostly because OBS doesn't really like to play nice with those games, which is funny, because they're games. Today, I'm just going to be reading. And, hold on for a sec. Yeah. Alright, so, today I'm just going to be reading from one of my favorite authors, H.P. Lovecraft. I will be reading a bunch of his stories, and, well, and there's gonna be an echo soon. Anyway, let us begin, shall we? I'm going to, maybe turn off one of these lights to set the mood. Oh God, no. That is horrible. But I like it. It's very artistic. Let us begin, shall we? Now you will notice that the edges of this book are sort of covered in a gold leaf, which is very fantastic, by the way. I got this as a Christmas present? Was it a Christmas present or an Easter present? Christmas, because that just happened like 2 months ago. Now, what the heck? Oh, I changed all these. No, what? Okay, public. Come on. I'll be reading from one of my Now, a little backstory on H.P. Lovecraft. His name is Howard Phillips Lovecraft. Now, that's not really a good name for a horror writer, which is why he just changed it to H.P. Should probably turn that one off. Alright, hold up for a second. I'm gonna... change these lights. Oh my god. I hate this so much. Oh god, it's so bright. Ugh. Ooh, that's even worse. I like the contrast, but well, I mean, it is appropriate for the king of horror. Existential horror. Lovecraftian horror. No, let me just change the title of this real quickly. And remember, if you are watching, feel free to leave a comment and like and subscribe and all that. I'll be streaming for 5 minutes. I haven't even started. Anyway, H.P. Lovecraft. He's a pretty cool guy. In fact, in my opinion, he kind of looks like Markiplier. Actually, now that I think about it, he kind of looks like one of my friends. Maybe? I don't know. I'm bad with faces. No, seriously, I'm like really bad with faces. Let me just change the title again. Story time. H.P. Lovecraft. Now, alright. View on watch page. Oh, there's more people watching. Oh god. The quality is terrible. How do I change the quality? How do I change the quality to 1080? Alright, whatever. I'm gonna mute myself, because I really don't like listening to my own voice. And let us begin. Tales of Horror by H.P. Lovecraft. I am going to read the introduction. Let's see. Cats of Ulthar, The Temple, Outsider, Herbert West, Reanimator. They made a movie about that one. Shunned House, Cool Air, Cthulhu, Pickman's Model, Charles Dexter Ward. That's a really good one. Color Out of Space. Ooh, At the Mountains of Madness. I could start with that one, but maybe later. Shadow Out of Time. Hold up. Let me just twist this around quickly and okay, hold up. The oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. H.P. Lovecraft, Supernatural Horror in Literature, 1925. Let me lower this. There, now you can see me and I can see you. Actually, I might turn the lights back up, but just a little bit. Damn, I hate my setup. This setup is probably one of the worst I've ever had. And, I mean, I know not many people. Oh! I forgot the background music. Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven, one of the greatest composers of all time. Among the greats, like Johann Sebastian Bach, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, and that one guy who wrote that one song. You all know the one I'm talking about. Bum, ba bum, bum, bum. I hope one person is watching. Now, let's just check something real. Is this good? Ba-bum. All right, hold up. Bum. Let me just shrink that down because we really just need the audio from that one. Is this good? All right, hold up. I apologize for the constant delays in these streams. I don't know how to handle myself most of the time, and I deeply apologize. It's not good, but it should do. Now, let us truly begin. In Danse Macabre, his non-fiction appraisal of the horror genre, Stephen King proclaimed that H.P. Lovecraft's shadow, so long and gaunt, and his eyes, so dark and puritanical, overlie almost all of the important horror fiction that has come since. If anything, King did not go far enough in his assessment. Howard Phillips Lovecraft was arguably the most influential writer, not only in the horror genre, but in the entire history of modern speculative fiction. He has become nothing less than a pop culture icon. Not a bad legacy for a depressive introvert who was never quite able to support himself with his writing, was quick to scuttle his own work, and who died in obscure poverty at the age of 46. This volume collects a score of Lovecraft's most famous and successful tales of cosmic horror. Ranging from the classic The Shadow over Innsmouth to the Dunwich Horror. And of course, the Call of Cthulhu. Together, they present a nightmare vision in which our everyday perception of the world is valued at less than nothing. Humans are the prey of cannibalistic ghouls and unknowable aliens, and reality is ruled by godlike nightmarish intelligences such as Nyarlathotep, Yog-Sothoth, and Cthulhu. This introduction will explain Lovecraft's life and how it influenced his horrific visions. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am nearsighted. Also, taking off your glasses is one of the most cliched way to emphasize some really crazy shit. Now, let's see how my live stream is doing. I like it. Lovecraft's life. Howard Phillips Lovecraft was born in 1890 in Providence, Rhode Island, to a traveling salesman father and a mother who could trace her ancestry back to the Pilgrims. The specter of madness that figures so prominently in his stories haunted his family too. His mother was committed to a mental asylum, Butler Hospital, when Lovecraft was only 3 years old. How tragic for one so young. 26 years later, in 1919, his mother would be committed to the same institution. She died in 1921 from complications after gallbladder surgery. Wait, what? Oh. His father was committed to a mental asylum when Lovecraft was 3 years old. Of course. The young Lovecraft was raised by his mother, 2 maternal aunts, and his grandfather, Whipple van Buren Phillips. I don't know if that accent is correct, but I'm sticking with it. I will, however, turn down the microphone sensitivity, because I am so close, and everybody likes it when I speak like this. That's a very strange noise. It was his grandfather who instilled in him a love of literature and gothic horror. The family was fairly well off until Van Buren Phillips' death in 1904, after which they fell into straitened circumstances and were forced to move into a smaller house. I love the smell of books, the feeling of the pages as they turn in my hands. Lovecraft was a precocious but sickly child. Though he was reciting and composing poetry at an early age, he barely attended public school and was evidently uncomfortable with other children. As an adult, he also avoided the company of most people and often would not go out during the day, though he was a prolific letter writer, keeping in contact. How quaint. I will admit my vocational lexicon has been lacking as of late, but I hope that you all appreciate the work that I'm doing. I like reading, and I want to share my love with the rest of the world. It's no easy task being a narrator, most likely because I don't have the right voice for it. However, with the appropriate background music, there will be a reckoning. How ominous. Anyways, Lovecraft also suffered from sleep paralysis from an early age, a disorder in which the sleeper awakens in terror, convinced of a hostile presence in the room, yet unable to move. You have also experienced this once in your life. I have not, which is strange, for everyone must have experienced it at least once in their lives. The night gaunts, which appear in his stories, were inspired by these episodes. Lovecraft's night terrors, combined with his own neurotic disposition, combined in 1908 to trigger what he later called a nervous breakdown. Oh God. Let me just put this pillow here so this doesn't happen again because my books are very precious. As a result, he never received his high school diploma. These tropes, the nervous, delicate narrator, scion of an ancient family but incapable of dealing with the modern world, who falls into inevitable madness as well as the longing for a lost idyllic state, would often be found in his work. He did not invent these themes. They are certainly present in the work of writers who influenced them, such as Edgar Allan Poe, another one of my favorite authors. But they clearly held a special appeal for Lovecraft. Indeed, Lovecraft felt himself to be an anachronism? A misfit and outsider. Even as a young man, he often referred to himself in correspondence as an aged gentleman, and sometimes dated letters from the 18th century. Lovecraft would have likely remained a recluse had he not written a letter to the pulp magazine Argosy in 1913. This led to a rousing correspondence that caught the attention of Edward F. Dawes, who was the president of the United Amateur Press Association, a type of organization that, in the days before internet bulletin boards, collated individual contributions by members and mailed them out in a magazine format. This led to not only the beginning of Lovecraft's prodigious letter writing, but also his first published story, The Alchemist, in 1916. His first commercial sale was in 1922. Unsurprisingly, he was rejected as unfit for military Whoa, wow. I cannot speak today. Unsurprisingly, he was rejected as unfit for military service for World War I, owing to his poor health and neuroses. It was at an amateur press convention in 1921, a few days after his mother's death, that Lovecraft met Sonia Green, a widow and successful businesswoman. I really hope the microphone is getting all this, because I would hate to do this all again. Let's see, shall we? Let's turn the music down, shall we? Hopefully, this is what will make everything more appreciative. I won't have to boost the volume on my computer to the maximum to hear the faintest whispers. And you won't have your headphones explode when I scream! Or maybe you will. Please, if anyone is watching this, go to your... Wait, what am I doing? My channel. I'm reading. Huh. Wow. That is hilarious. Let me just... Oh. How do I edit this? How do I... No, seriously, how do I edit this? What hell have I unleashed? Hold up. Okay, there we go. That was highly uncomfortable. I do not want to go through that again, because that was very creepy. Anyway, where was I? Ah, yes. It was at an amateur press convention in 1921 where he met... Wait, no. Businesswoman. I won't be needing these anytime soon. Green was not only 7 years Lovecraft's senior, she was also Jewish and foreign-born. They married 3 years later, and Lovecraft moved into her Brooklyn apartment. Green is Lovecraft's only documented romantic or sexual connection, though she claimed he was a sufficiently adequate lover. Many have seen in Lovecraft's lack of interest in matters of the living flesh, and his slimy, quivering monsters, either an asexuality or a repressed homosexuality. Certainly, he was close friends with the writer Samuel Loveman, who was gay. Green, for the most part, blamed Lovecraft's overbearing mother